Alexa, play the Black Love Matters podcast.
Getting the latest episode of Black Love Matter. Here it is from TuneIn.
Hey!
Welcome to Black Love Matters, where this serves as a therapy session for figuring out adulthood,
loving each other,
and finding our inner Barack and Michelle.
Or Jay-Z and Beyonce. Or how about this week we go with Morris Chestnut and his wife, Pam. Now, let me tell you, Morris Chestnut and his wife have been married since 1995 and celebrated 22 years of marital bliss this year. When folks ask Morris about his wife, he's been known to say, "I've been with my wife for a number of years. And the number one thing that keeps us strong is our mutual respect. That is the first and foremost." He told this to Essence magazine as the secret to success. First of all, hell, I didn't even know Morris Chestnut was married. He kept that a secret. You think that go with his image?
Yeah.
That he just be this chocolate drop. Because low key, I've been crushing on Morris Chestnut.
For how long?
My whole life. My adulthood, my adolescence, kindergarten. It don't matter. I done had a crush on him since Boys in the Hood. 92, I had to be in kindergarten.
Morris Chestnut or Kofi?
Oh, wait a minute. What you said? Morris Chestnut. You know, I like to go in the most seasoned brother.
Okay.
But Kofi be my side piece one because me and Morris going to have an open relationship.
Okay. I don't know where Nerum even
You come on there too,
go
Nerum.
on in this, but okay.
You can come on too. But no, I really love their love. And the reason I picked them out, what was unique, you know I was teasing, but the fact that we didn't even know that they were married.
Right.
It's something about privacy that's really, I think is sacred to a relationship. And I believe it's one of the secrets to a good relationship that a lot of folks don't explicitly talk about. Does that make sense, Nero?
Yeah.
Like sometimes you got to it's nothing wrong with people sometimes confuse being private with being secretive. Mm-hmm. And I don't think it's being secretive, but I do think everything does not need to be shared with everyone in your relationship. Only you, that person, and the Lord, or if it's Nero, the grand architect, really need to know. And right. I mean everyone. I'm not just talking about good friends. I'm talking about your mama, your daddy, family. You can't tell everybody every little thing that's going on in your relationship. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense, baby.
So that's why I picked them out, because I was like, I didn't even know he was. And they strong, honey. They've been going 22 years strong. I don't remember her on a red carpet, and I Googled her. She was beautiful and gorgeous and amazing and all that. But I just thought that when I thought of them, I thought this idea of being private and how do you really keep your relationship sacred? And of course, I'm sure these girls been chasing after Morris since day one.
Hell, you've been chasing after him for
since
how
I've
long?
been 4. But so, and I'm just saying that's just now. That's later in his life. He fine. He ain't fine because he an actor. Mm-hmm. He been like this since day one. So he used to this since middle school. He like the light-skinned guys with the eyes, right? What'd you tell him? The ones with the eyes.
Ain't shit niggas. Them dude with them funny looking eyes.
Yeah, so I just thought their love was just something to highlight. And when I think of their love, the characteristic that really comes out is the idea of how to keep it private and moving forward for there.
Okay.
So who is you?
I'm Nerum, y'all.
And I'm Nyambi. I didn't even know what you said, so you threw me off, honey.
And this is episode 41.
Yes. Happy Friday, y'all.
Happy Friday.
We made it. The weekend is here, and hopefully y'all gonna have a long weekend. So I know, as Nerum call y'all, the 9 to 5 warriors, Monday should be off for y'all.
Right.
It's Labor Day, so you're getting that barbecue pit out, or laying on your couch, or binge watching something, or doing whatever you're doing. Whatever you need to do, get your little quiet peace, meditation, and relaxation.
Hey.
Come on.
Well, be sure while you're doing all that relaxing, meditating,
Here come
be
Nerum.
sure to leave a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts and Stitcher. And follow us on all forms of social media.
Yeah.
We have Black Love Matters. Remember, Black with no K.
Yeah.
What you got, baby?
I don't actually have too much. Like, I worked. The slave ship got me working 9 to 5 and 5 to 9.
Oh, you working 10 to 10 and 10 again.
10 again. Come on, shout out to Big Shine. I guess the biggest thing that happened at work is, so school started, right? So that means all the kids go back to school, right?
Yeah.
So that means the schedule will go from
everybody on
to
schedule?
nobody.
Oh.
And then on top of that, we had 2 other folks who supervised with me up front. One said, I quit, I won't be back. They basically put it on a Post-it note. It did.
What?
They basically was like, and this is how bold they was. They came to work and then told them like, I won't be back after today.
That's ballsy.
That's ballsy. I wouldn't care. Like I was like, oh, this me and this Nyambi. Congratulations.
On?
Hey, figuring out what you're gonna do, standing firm in your word and meaning what you say and saying what you mean. And then the other person gonna come in and talking about, I want to go on a leave of absence for school. And they was like, okay, when you want to start? They was like, next week. Sir, I'm gonna need some receipts. What school you started next week? That you just found out you were starting next week?
Kaplan.
He ain't starting no damn school. He done with them. And I know he been done with it because this is the one who been calling off just randomly. They be like, I won't be here and see you later. So, it's hitting a fan at work with workload. And, I'm learning to balance that too because I didn't come to this job to necessarily go up in ranks. I came to this job to make ends meet so I really can have more mental space to work on the stuff that I want to do in entrepreneurial spirit and the podcast. I'm really just taking some time for Nyambi. And I'm noticing that like my workload is picking up. Again, my job's not hard.
Yeah.
It's not a mentally heavy job. It's a physically heavy job though. So like I said, y'all, if I just work 4 or 5 hours, I'm getting 20, 30,000 steps in. Don't let it be an 8 hour. I'm doing a half marathon. And that
right.
physically weighs on you. Although I'm mentally ready, I'm physically tired. So, I'm gonna see how this next couple schedules go. But I'll give them time. Like I understand they gotta hire folks, get folks in. So they got about 2-3 more weeks of Nyambi huffing it, and then I'm gonna be just like them.
I would like to put in my walking papers, please. Nyambi has to go on the computer and change her schedule.
Availability. Never.
What days are you available?
Never. So, I know folks got to work. So, I'm willing, like, I'm giving them basically to the end of September. Like, I'm going to give them to the end of September to figure out, get their bearings right. Because by then, they need to start hiring for the holiday. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Then I can back off a little bit. I'm all for, helping them out during the holidays and doing a hot 20. But anything more than 20 hours.
Baby,
I can't do that. That's why I came in this space. If I wanted to work more than 20 hours, I would have stayed in my cubicle.
Hey.
Come on. So I'm just navigating with that. But y'all, on a lighter note, why didn't y'all tell me about being Mary Jane?
What about it?
Oh, you didn't like
it? You said tell y'all about it. What about it?
Is there any Twitter shenanigans, Instagram? I feel like y'all don't be shouting out being Mary Jane like y'all be doing Insecure. That ain't right.
Well, baby,
that ain't right.
When the last time you sent a tweet out?
Hey, about 2 weeks.
Oh,
I'm on a long journey, okay? And I'm learning. I'm new to this. I have all the tweets in my head. It's just about getting it from my head to the Twitterverse, and I'm taking step by step.
Excuses are tools of the competent
used to build monuments of none. No, excuses of tools are.
Ooh.
We're not doing this.
Excuses are tools of the competent used to build bridges to nowhere.
Okay.
Those who use them.
Okay, now.
Okay.
I want to get back to being Mary Jane.
All right, come on.
So, what is this thing where Patrick, daddy ain't his daddy? Where did that come from? Did you get that on the toe? Did you know we was going in that direction?
I didn't know we was going there. I thought the mama was just gonna say, I cheated on your daddy. I fucked that man.
Insecure. Yeah, I thought he was gonna say that too. And I was also gonna be like, well, that's really not none of your son business who you fucking sucking. Mm-hmm. If you was a good mama, had his lunches made,
yeah,
that's all he need to know. All this other stuff. I was wondering why the daddy was being petty, drinking brown liquor.
Well, now you know.
But still, I don't know. And then Patrick, a sensitive soul. He about to go back on that shit.
You know he about to go back on that shit.
He about to go back on this shit. But why did they hold that secret from that boy that long? He clean in his 50s. And having a tantrum like he 10.
Right. He got grandkids.
He got
kids, grandkids, and everything.
And then he clean had a tantrum. You knew. And then what he said, he was an addict. I was an addict. It's in my blood. No, nigga. Wait a minute.
Time out.
You can't blame
out.
your daddy because you an addict. That you can't hold on. You can't blame your daddy that you didn't know that you that's the reason why you the addict. Ooh, that's addict talk there, honey. That's a junkie. That is a junkie. What do you think about that?
I think it's crazy. I think it's a travesty.
What?
Yes.
Did you say a travesty?
It is. I think it is a travesty.
Yeah.
Because, a lot of these kids, you know what? Let me just go back.
He said
This
a
is not,
travesty.
this is something that's not, this is something that go on in the black community all the damn time.
It happened to you?
No, it ain't happened to me. But I'm
I
just
thought you were about
saying.
to testify.
No, but I think, it happens in the black community all the time. You hear about kids who had kids when they was teens and then they mama take on the kid. So it's like, it's mama, sister,
Yeah.
grandma, mama type shit. Yeah. So I think that happens all the time, man. It's always been, a relationship type thing where you come up with somebody and, they pregnant and the man be like, go good man, good Southern man.
Yeah, he take care of all the
He be
children.
like, I'm the daddy now.
I'm the pappy.
I'm
Ask
the
the
pappy.
pappy. Remember from Life?
Yeah.
Ask the pappy.
I'm the daddy now. I'm going to take care of that kid.
Yeah.
But I think the mama, I don't know what's
They
going on.
made this
with
too
that mama.
complex. Like, why didn't you tell that boy the truth 20 years ago?
That's the thing. I thought the argument was about mama sleeping on sleeping
But that ain't.
around, but that ain't it.
Yeah.
The thing is, she done been with that man before, and then he done messed around and took care of his damn kid.
Ooh.
And now then all of a sudden he came back. Now you want to go ahead and suck his dick again?
Yeah, now she fucked up on that one. Now, if I knew that she had a kid by this man, then she shouldn't even went near him. Now, give me the age. Who the oldest? Mary Jane or Patrick the oldest?
I think Patrick is the oldest.
Okay, because it'd be even more juicy
Yeah.
if he wasn't.
Because Patrick's the oldest. Because that's why all the rest of them together.
Okay. Oh,
Mary Jane and that other boy.
That's why they favor.
Yeah.
And then Patrick say, I always feel like the outcast.
Right. I just feel like the outcast. Nobody loved me the most.
Oh, Jesus. That's that junkie talk.
That's why I'm on this shit.
Jesus. Meanwhile, on the ranch, they done took care of him, his children, and his grandkids, but they don't love him. Child, bye, Patrick. I just thought it was unique. I just think, I hope to never be in that situation, or I actually don't know anyone close to me that was in that situation. I understand why they may not have told him as a child, but I think once you hit that 20, 30 range, that's when you got to start speaking truth to people.
You got to.
When would you say something? Or would you have did it when he was younger or older? Or my thing is, shut the fuck up then. What did it do by
me.
him telling him?
I'm always about taking people joy at an early age. Like
Oh,
I said,
what you say?
I ain't had no joy since 1992. So
Okay, neither will you. Since that one Christmas. And so neither will you have the joy.
Yes, exactly.
So you would have told him as like, what, a teenager?
Yeah, I would have told him as a teenager, like, as he's getting older and things of that sort, like, Patrick is something that me and your mom need to talk about. I'm not your father, and I'm not your biological father, but I'm your father. I've been the one that's been fathering you.
Yes.
I'm your pappy.
Yeah.
I've been paying the cost to be the boss, but we feel as if you're getting older, you might want to know your roots and things of that sort. So just want to let you know that.
So at what age?
I would say, 13, 11, 12,
God, when
13.
they at prime badass and rebellion?
Because, it gives them
I say
years.
25.
A damn 25-year-old can't bounce back from that shit.
You don't think?
As readily as an 11-year-old.
So you would have told him at 5.
Yeah, I do. So they can bounce back quickly. So,
Kids are a little bit more resilient.
they're resilient. So you're like, oh,
Yeah.
you not my daddy?
It's okay.
No, okay.
You my second dad. I got
Yeah,
2 daddies.
I got 2 daddies.
Yeah, I guess it could face
That's
that way.
cool.
Yeah.
Versus this nigga 50.
And his whole life has been shattered.
What's wrong, Dad? Where mom at? Go talk to your mama. Mom, what's going on? Why are you and Daddy arguing? Son,
And she's shady.
your daddy was a good man.
Oh my God. I didn't know where she was going with that.
So I was in the bind.
Oh.
So I went with your daddy. What you saying?
This me, I'm hanging on every word too. What is a bind? You mean you
Yeah.
pregnant? What's
I
this
was
code
pregnant
word?
and I needed a man to father my kid.
Oh my God.
So I picked well, I forgot the dude name.
Yeah.
I picked Robert.
Safety. You picked the safe choice.
I picked Robert.
Yeah.
What? Nah, look at him. He about to have a fucking heart attack. About to go back on them drugs and everything else. That's why I say you got to tell their ass at 5 so they can be resilient. They can bounce back.
They just want to go play now.
Yeah. Oh, I got 2 daddies. Okay.
Can I go play?
Can I go play? And then, because I think at that point it gives them time to like ruminate,
And process.
go through the ages of going through this
and
shit.
having the option to know their father at all ages.
Exactly.
And also giving him the space to see, being a father is more than being a sperm donor.
Yeah.
And seeing how his, his father who was there for him really was his father.
Right.
And loved that man like it was his own blood.
Well, hell, people been looking at me like I'm adopted because my mom got vitiligo.
Oh, my God.
So, like, who that white woman you with?
Are you
Like,
going to
that's
speak
my
a little of
mama.
your truth? Did I hurt your feelings?
A little bit.
Okay, I know. I can.
Being in the hood.
Okay.
And the niggas looking at me
I
like you
think
got
this
a
is
white mama.
This is my check-in.
Niram, are you adopted? No, nigga, I ain't adopted. Why your mama look white? Motherfucker, because she got Michael Jackson. What?
Hold on. That's what y'all called it?
Yeah.
The Michael Jackson
We called it
disease?
the Michael Jackson disease.
Okay. That's
what we
that
call it
east
in the
side.
hood.
That is that east side. Y'all call vitiligo to Michael Jackson.
Yeah, he got that Michael Jackson.
Nope. So can we continue to talk about being
Yeah.
Mary Jane?
Okay.
I'm trying to see what ain't nothing really else happened. So the little Latino baseball player, he coming into his own. He went against that white girl, and she did white girl things.
Yeah.
Being Mary Jane, I can't call her just Mary Jane. What is she trying to figure out?
She just trying to find love.
Yeah. And how, oh no, the T is how her ex-boyfriend made a show out of her. I would be honored. Thank you. But I think the conclusion was that what's his name, Light Eyes, and still got some feelings for her because she sent her them flowers. So I'm excited to see where they love gonna go and how it's gonna transform.
Yeah.
I'm rooting for them.
Well, I already knew that she was gonna, straighten up and fly right, just on the fact when she found out his ex-girlfriend is dead.
Oh my God.
So she ain't got no competition. It's just you, boo.
Oh, did you say no competition?
No
I thought
competition.
she said she was gonna to reflect on what happened.
Ain't no competition against somebody dead.
Okay, you can move on with your check-in there. I'm all set. I'm all set. I don't have any.
You ain't gonna talk about the battle of the Latino mamas?
How they twins?
Yeah.
What you mean ain't no battle? He dating his mama. How many men date his mama? Do I remind you of your mama?
No.
Oh, I don't know if that's a compliment or not. What you mean?
Hey, I don't know. You take it how you want to
How
take
are we
it.
different?
My mama a little bit more when it comes to talking. You more a loudmouth black woman. My mama ain't that
Tread
loudmouth.
lightly.
Hey, I'm just saying.
And what is she? A docile?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
She very soft spoken.
And I'm not?
Exactly.
I'm asking you.
Yeah, you're not soft spoken at all. You more hard spoken.
But anywho, what we're getting at is that I think he is dating and wants to marry his mom.
Uh-huh.
And I think that's the first time it was presented where I was like, oh, this ain't creepy. Because at first, usually when you ever see shows or people, friends who be like, oh my God, you dating your parent.
Yeah.
And you be like, this is weird, this is creepy. But I understand now. Like, it made a little bit of sense now. Even that she's a little older, the way she's able to kind of, like, I think the mom called her like his coach to say, like, you make a good team and move forward. Like, I really did like that kind of dynamic. And it opened my eyes. I don't know, have you dated older women? Is that how the dynamic is? Or I don't know.
Well,
Am I being judgmental?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you dated an older woman before?
Yeah.
How old?
Olderish. It's like 20.
How many years older than you?
Maybe like 7.
That ain't that old.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm talking like at least 20 years difference.
Mm-hmm. No, I ain't getting.
I got a story I'll tell you later.
Oh, okay. Oh.
Hey.
Wait a minute.
Come on, what's your check-in? You got anything else about being Mary Jane? It was a good episode, but I just think Mary Jane is getting a little bit better.
Okay, that's what's up.
That's all.
What up, y'all? I'm gassy.
Niram.
Look, I'm
talking. Be eating their food.
I'm talking to family.
Jesus.
We call them sis bro, cuz. So y'all like family.
Food.
Y'all know
Sorry.
I'm going on this vegan journey.
Yeah.
And I've been eating my vegetables and rice and beans and everything like that. And your boy's just full of gas.
I told Niram that whenever even if it's not vegan or vegetarian, whenever you have like a diet change, like an extreme diet change, you have to take like probiotics. And
So yeah, I'm on.
prepare yourself.
I've been taking some probiotics, but your boy going through some things. So just send me some positive vibes. I guess I gotta be real with y'all. The thing is, I don't miss meat. Like even though this is like the 3rd or 4th day,
yeah.
I can do without meat. That's not the problem.
Mm-hmm. What's the problem?
I think the problem is just bloating and gas. Just going through that and just trying to figure it out.
Let me see.
Yeah, it is.
Tight.
It's tight.
Yeah.
So I'm going through some things.
Well, I got to be some brown vegans out
Yeah,
there.
it is. And, I've been looking at them all on YouTube and things of that sort.
Have
And
they talked about being gassy?
yeah, and then it's like, try to lower your fiber and,
Slow down.
slow down your fiber, take probiotics,
Told you.
enzymes and things of that sort. And I'm doing all that. But, this is just some of the pain I'm just going through.
Yeah. Oh, how about moving?
What about moving?
Physically moving that
Oh,
gas.
yeah. Oh, yeah. I'll be rubbing my stomach and everything.
No, I mean you're like your legs.
Yeah, when
Like
I walk
go for
around
a walk?
campus, yeah. I was on school. I went to class today, so I was walking around campus. and
Okay.
shit. So,
What else, Nero?
that
Nobody want to talk about this gas now.
Look, this is the real stuff. This is black love. And this is something you got to deal with because, we be sleep. And
Nero, come
It just
on.
let it
my
on.
goodness. Come on, Nero. What else? Is we talking
other than
about?
that, we're getting ready for D.C. By the time y'all hear this, we're going to be in D.C. and walking
Sure
around.
will.
Hopefully we get into the nigga museum.
No,
What?
the African American Heritage Museum, Smithsonian.
Okay.
We can't call it the Negro Museum.
Hopefully we get into the nigga Smithsonian. Like
the
I
Negroes.
said,
Don't do
if
that.
anybody out there that got a hookup, that knows somebody that can get us in on the hookup,
You silly.
please shoot us an email.
We're gonna try to go in the morning and see if we can get in.
Because I know tickets be funny.
It ain't no tickets.
I
It's
know.
just you going off luck.
Maybe we just needed to go up in there with some basic ass names. Like I'll be John, you be Mary, and see if we can go through like that.
Come on now. What
No,
else? No.
that's it, man.
Yeah.
Just getting prepared, getting ready. I'm excited for the long weekend. I hope y'all are too, and look forward to providing y'all with more content and
Yeah,
giving y'all the greatness of black love.
of course.
Yeah, we got some pillow talk.
Of course, always. Y'all know I was really on like an article binge this last week or so, and I found some good stuff that I wanted to pick your brain about. So I found this one article near them was about like intimacy and the shadow of intimacy. And I picked that out because, I'm a huge component of the idea of what makes a relationship work is that idea of intimacy and connectedness with your partner. But I found it interesting that they talked about the shadow of it. So just to give y'all a little background about the article, it goes on to explain that all of us kind of have essential aspects of our personality that we've learned to hide or suppress in order to kind of protect ourselves. So protecting, our feelings, our emotions, all that good stuff. And when we claim these kind of shadow parts, as we say with air quotes, we dramatically kind of increase our capacity for love, and we find access to a tremendous sense of personal power, right? However, I believe in the literature. If we go back to Carl Jung, I think his name was, he's the one who kind of coined the concept of the shadow. So I know y'all have heard us say shadow a lot on the podcast, but I don't know if we ever formally put a definition to it. But so you all know, the shadow is this idea of like the disowned self. So it's the parts of ourselves that we think are unlovable, unworthy, unacceptable. And these are the parts of ourselves that kind of come from our deepest insecurities. But I believe this is the part of ourselves that also hold our deepest gifts. So usually this is that characteristic that be like, oh man, you're super, super charismatic, or you're super, super people person. The shadow of that will be, well, you can't be alone. You're good with all these people, and you make people feel welcome, and you're life of the party. But you can't be the life of your own party. You constantly have to have people around, and that's not a good thing. You should be able to be comfortable and confident alone.
That's a word.
So that's the That's this idea where we're talking about shadow. So it's usually something that's really, really positive about you, but then when it goes so left field that it becomes a strain or insecurity. What you mean that's a word, Neil?
That's a word.
So
Some people can't be alone with themselves.
Yeah, but they be the most, outgoing people. But ultimately kind of suppressing those aspects of ourselves kind of protects us from the immediate pain, but keeps deeper love forever at an arm's length. Does that make sense what I'm trying to say? So again, I keep using this example of being charismatic and outgoing. You do that, but you never talk to your partner or your closest friends to say, I'm like this because I have a fear of being alone. That's the root. Not just because, I like people. I like to be around people. It's fun. Like, I like to you're just not going because you like happy hour. Ain't enough wings in the world. You're going because you do not want to be alone, and not having those real talk conversations with your partner. That's when, it goes left field. because then you have these interactions with your partner. Your partner might say something like, let's not host anything, or, let's just be us, or the flip side. I think we need some alone time. You might get you a partner who need like time to refresh themselves, and they need alone time. And I'm not saying they don't love you or anything, but they're like, well, you go in your corner and I'm going your corner, and let's meet in 2 hours. And then you go to hell off on them, and they like, I just want to read my book. Do you know?
Yeah.
But if you're not sharing with your partner that the idea of being alone scares me, it makes me insecure, it makes me feel unloved, it makes me feel like I'm not important, that can lead to turmoil and a down, toil in your relationship. Does that make sense?
So now you saying niggas cheat? That's why you got cheating ass niggas out here because they don't want to be alone.
What? You would not twist my words.
What? I'm just asking.
No, you got, okay, say it again. I'm going to give you a legit answer.
Asking, is that the reason why niggas cheat?
Okay, the reason why, because
they don't want to be alone.
No.
They're afraid of being alone, so they got to have all these women and cheat on other people and things of that
No,
sort.
I think it's the opposite. I think they think the more women they have, the more likely they'll be a man, because they have no true example of what it is to be a man.
Ooh, okay.
Next question. They gauge their manhood on the number of women they can kind of conquer or have. Oh. That's why I think they cheat.
Okay.
And if you don't got no example.
Message.
And instead of saying, I do this because this is my idea and this is what I was raised, this is my idea of what a man is. Mm-hmm. Instead of saying that, they just say, I don't like to be in a box.
Oh.
I don't believe in normal. What's a good line? I'm trying to think what my girlfriends be telling me. I don't believe in the normal structure.
Oh, I don't believe. I don't believe
bullshit.
in the Western construct.
Western constructs, nigga. Bye.
I don't believe in the everything postmodern relationship construct.
Spell it.
I don't believe in the postmodern.
And nigga ain't even been to a Chinese restaurant. Never been to a hibachi grill. What do you believe in then? What Eastern values do you believe in? What readings of Osho have you read?
Hey.
So, I think it's that idea. So again, it's the part of ourselves we fear will scare love away. And I think that's truly the link, the missing link to finding love. Mm. So that idea of being vulnerable. So I always say, this question that they put towards in the article on like really finding the idea of this intimacy shadow, they ask kind of what aspects of yourself are you most uncomfortable, hesitant, or timid to reveal in your relationship? Mm-hmm. And that's where, the junk start coming out. And some of the things that they found was that these ideas of unrelenting desire for connection, passion so intense it feels aggressive. So I think the desire for connection we talked about. So this idea, some of the themes that came out when they asked other people, it was this passion so intense it feels aggressive. Mm-hmm. So I think of those people who are very possessive in relationships. Mm-hmm. So, possession can be cute. I don't even know what I'm saying. Possession can be cute till it ain't.
I know what you mean.
It's nothing. I think folks like that idea when they be like, you are my man, you are my woman, and I'm proud. Mm-hmm. Let everyone see it.
Right.
But when it transitioned to the level where you mine, right, and I'm calling the police, I'm sitting on the porch, and you just went to McDonald's.
Ooh.
Come on. It's a whole different level. Another thing that came out I thought was interesting was a generosity of spirit so powerful that it hurts. Mm. So folks who just keep giving.
Yeah.
And then again, they empty. But it's like, well, why you was giving? You're not giving to be generous. Right. You're giving because it makes you feel good because you covering something else. You buying it.
Right. You buying love.
Yeah.
And now your love tank empty.
Another one that I like they found, it was the idea of a passion for truth, which gets you in trouble again and again. Mm. Ooh, that passion for truth.
Lord.
Sometimes you got to let, what's it called? Lion dogs lay.
Hey.
And especially in a relationship.
Yeah.
You seek out this truth so deeply that then what? This idea of that
you get in trouble.
So in a relationship, what doesn't work is if you're right, like you're right, mm-hmm, and your partner's wrong, and you have to get to the point to get your partner to say you're right and I'm wrong. That always ain't gonna work.
It sure ain't.
And that ain't gonna be a cute relationship if you just can't let some stuff go. And I'm not talking about heavy stuff. Mm-hmm. So if we're talking about heavy things or blatant explicit things, like did you pay the rent? Yes or no? Okay, we need to discuss that. Right. But more
like petty stuff.
You got to let that go. Mm-hmm. Because I think that really drives wedges in relationship. And I think it's that shadow again. So originally your partner could have got with you because they love how honest and truthful you are. But when you take it to the point where I can't even be like, yeah, the food is okay and I might not like it, but you want me to.
Right, say it's nasty.
I'm trying to make you feel good.
Yeah. And I think, those type of things also carry on in like other parts of your life.
Yeah.
I know we're talking about intimacy here, but, there are people out there that, they live and strive to have this truth and have people validate that they're right. But the thing is, some people just don't give a fuck.
Yes.
And the thing is, sometimes when you having like these arguments with your spouse and things of that sort, these disagreements, sometimes you just gotta be like, all right, yeah, you're right.
Yes.
Just to move on, just to even move on to the next step so you can get to healing and processing and things of that sort. Because if you don't, you still on like, no, I'm right.
But the idea is that shadow won't allow you to do that.
Right.
So then you feel triggered. And then you go into the mode when you're going off.
Right.
And you're going ham. And you're going totally in left field of it. And I was just like, what in the world? Like, I didn't even think about this until I read this article. And I was like, this is hitting it. So Niram, I was going to ask you, what's do you have any intimacy shadows you want to share? If you don't have any stuff you want to flesh out a little bit more of the ones I talked about?
Shit, I'm over here thinking I knew it was coming.
What?
Can you share yours first?
Why do you want to share mine?
So give me a little example of where I need to go with mine.
Okay, so I think one that might surprise you a little bit is that this idea on the podcast, and I think a lot, I can have this quietness and softness to me, although Niram said I'm hard, but sometimes I feel like that's taken for a weakness. Does that make sense? Like, I think, I'm from an education background. I believe in strength quest. So my strength quests are like harmony, empathy, connector. So although I have very strong opinions, it's also very important to me that a group feels connected and in harmony. And sometimes to have people or people that I love feel connected in harmony, it's not that I'll go along in what they're saying, but I will take a step back and I will allow them to have their space. And I think sometimes I do it to the point where people are like, well, what do you mean you don't have an opinion? Like, why you so political? Like,
Right.
you Switzerland. You neutral. And, in my head, I'm doing this because I care about you. Because the people I don't care about, they going to get all the opinions. I'm going to be Donald Trump. Build the wall. Why? Who going to build it, Nyambi? You are. But people I really love, I do see how it goes into shadow. And where sometimes they're looking for me to really put my foot down and say X, Y, and Z, but I see it as a realm of being supportive, letting them process and not kind of putting my stuff, my baggage on them, because it's like, I love you. You make this decision right or left, I'm gonna rock with you. So but sometimes I think that comes off as a weakness or a lack of like not being interested, but it's not that. Like, that's me really, you don't understand how much going on in my body not to say nothing. Do you know, like, I do that a lot with my friends. So no matter what they're going through, if they share something about their personal life, their relationship, I really try to be that friend, believe it or not. When you come to me, ain't nothing you gonna say to shock me. Like, a friend come to me and be like, oh, guess what, Nyambi? I just joined the orgy and now I'm the queen and I do this. I'm like, really?
Oh, interesting.
I said, wow, tell me more. Like, I really try to do that to create a non-judgment zone. That's why I do it. But like I said, it could go into the shadow where they're like, hello, did you hear what I just say? I'm an orgy queen. And me, that's nice.
Nice.
So now that I'm reflecting on that, I definitely see that it kind of is and that's more my personal relationship. And I even say it with you sometimes. Do you feel like I do that with you sometimes? Like, I really let Niram run. And my dad actually was teasing me like, you be just cutting off Niram. You just be running your mouth. And I'm like, I do not be cutting off Niram. Do you think I allow you the space when you bring me ideas and I just let it sit there? Does that bother you? Have you noticed that?
Sometimes. I think it was interesting is at some points you'd be like, yeah, just go with it. Just go. Be great. Be great, Nero. And other times like, I don't know.
Because I'll tell you the truth. Like, I ain't gonna let my friends jump off in the I ain't gonna let you. I think we put that on Instagram when it was a little cat with his head cooking. When your friends tell you idea, they're making a bad decision, but they gotta live their life. I think that's Nyambi. But I'm not gonna let you go to your death. I'm not gonna let you stumble, fall, scrape your knees a little. Maybe I'm coming in with the Neosporin, but making horrible decisions. No. I can't let that. But I believe people need space to process, and we all grown. Like,
Yeah, we
in
are.
the crew we with, folks ain't making too crazy of it. Every once in a while I get a friend, I'd be like, hell no. But for the most part, I'd be like, well, try it.
Right.
See what happened. I'm here. So I think that's when I didn't realize to this article how that can be perceived by y'all as a shadow thing and disconnected. But in me, I'm giving you my love language to give you those space to be you. I don't know what you think, Neil. What's going on with you?
So, after thinking about yours and listening to you talk, I had enough time to ponder. So I think one of the things that works well with me, or one of the things that I think that that I have is like this whole gut reaction type thing. Like, when there's some things that I believe in, or I think like this is what I'm going to do, and Neron said he going to do it, it's like a switch. I do it. But other things in life, the shadow to that is just being like nonchalant to everything else. So, I know one of the things that gets on people's nerves when it comes to me is that, when it comes to things that I really not interested in, or really just don't care about, like I can go either or.
Yeah.
Whether it's going out to dinner, whether it's going to see a movie, whether it's going to a vacation spot. If I really don't care, it's like it don't matter. So I don't know if that's like I think that's the shadow of what happens when I'm like, I'm doing this and that's it. No other talking. What you think?
Yeah, I would say that. I think the words that you use that triggers me sometimes, where you be like, more or less.
More or less.
Maybe.
So
sure.
That's the thing. Like
whatever you want. Like, I'm like, no, I asked you. I already done narrowed it down to the top choices.
And that's the thing. It's like, it really doesn't matter to me that I'm like, well, when it comes to me, when it comes to those type of things, it doesn't have that big of a effect on me whether we go to restaurant B or restaurant A. That I'm like, well, pick the one you want.
Yeah.
Because if it's something that I really want or whatever, like, oh, I need to go here.
Yeah.
And, and I can go without you if I need to. But when it comes to like other things, like Near, when we go to DC, is there any other museums you want to go see?
No.
Don't matter.
More or less.
More or less.
I'm like, matter. What the hell is that more or less mean?
It don't matter. I just want to go to the nigga museum.
Oh, don't say that.
Well,
the African American Museum.
If we can't go to any other one, is there anyone else you want to go to? It don't matter.
Yes.
We can walk around DC a lot here.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's the more or less the shadow that irks
more or less. You see that?
Yeah, that more or less.
He slid it in there.
Irks the piss out of Nyambi
and that could be the
friends.
shadow because it shows. It feels. I feel. Use I statement.
Yeah.
When you say that, it's like you don't care because I've seen what it is when you really put emotion and energy into something else. So it's like, well, what are we doing it for? And why are you doing it? So the shadow of, so you have to explain why you're doing it then. So what do you think you're doing to benefit the other folks? So that's what we see as the shadow. But what is the benefit of you doing it? Or you just fucking with people? If so, that ain't shadow. You just know what the fuck you're doing.
No, I think the benefit is that they get what they want out of it. Because, when it comes to me, when I'm in that type of situation, it doesn't bother me or affect me either way. Like I'm indifferent either way. When it comes to certain things like that I'd rather just go with whatever the person thinks or, wants to do more than, me trying to make a decision.
I like it. But like I said, when I seen that article, this idea of intimacy shadows, that really clicked. They really clicked and connected for me. Y'all out there, y'all got to let us know what's y'all intimacy shadows. Have y'all thought about this? What does it look like? Ain't that a hot one?
That is a hot one.
What you mean that's deep?
That's deep. I'm talking about these intimacy shadows.
It is because it's a real thing. Everyone has it. And also I liked, and just summarizing how the author said that a lot of time these shadow characteristics is what's hindering you from really diving deeper into, your love or, maybe going to the next step or you see yourself. A lot of times when I see my friends, they kind of live the same relationship. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Different guys or different women, different partners, but same.
People change, but the personalities don't.
Yeah. And really seeing if that has something to do with it. And again, I love a good self-reflection. And once you can kind of start recognizing that and you have a name to it and you can have a deeper conversation because it might be, same argument you keep running into, but now you got different terminology and knowledge of yourself to work through it now. So instead of just blowing up, you can work through it and move through it now by having these honest conversations with folks.
Yeah.
Like it?
That's dope.
Another one. Look, I'm on a roll, y'all.
I know you. What you got for us?
It was another article that I found that was this idea of regret and sacrificing for your partner, and how does it make you feel? Like, so does it lead to resentment, or is it something that like kind of motivates you to move further? So in a study, I think it was from the Netherlands that documented that from 130 couples, found that people with low self-esteem tend to feel vulnerable in their relationships. That includes feeling insecure about their partner's support and love. They went on to say that low self-esteem partners underestimate how positively they are viewed by their partner and how much their partner loves and cares for them. They also tend to think that others are not there for them, not available to provide support and what they need. On the flip side of this study, it showed that people with low self-esteem who decided to sacrifice personal preferences for their relationship came to regret those actions, and that has a further negative consequence for their well-being. So they were more likely to regret those sacrifices, and this leads to them to experience a more negative mood, greater stress, and lower life satisfaction over time. So in short, they regret sacrifices they made because they don't feel appreciated or supported by their partner. And they continue to move along in a depressed and unhappy settlement space with their partner. So the idea of the study was that the people who traditionally made the sacrifice for their partner, if they had higher self-esteem, they didn't see it as a sacrifice. They kind of made light of it. They found their way to tweak it, to work for them. Once their partner got settled, they were able to figure out something. But on the flip side, they found folks with lower self-esteem didn't do that. So they split into two groups. So it was the ones who went along with their partner but didn't do any sacrifice. They still felt like trash. But the folks who went along but made a personal sacrifice, so be it leaving the state, different job, leaving family members behind, they were even worse. So it's this idea of resentment that's heavy in relationships. And, how do you work through that? Because my thoughts is, how do you have a relationship without one partner deciding to sacrifice? You both can't have it all at the same time.
Right,
That's absolutely,
right.
You know how they always say women, can't you have it all? Hell no. In a relationship, can everyone have it all? Hell no.
No.
Not at the same time. You might can have it all, but maybe not at the same time. So I thought that was really unique. I mean, I think a lot speaks to the self-esteem. I want to know, did people self-identify as having this low self-esteem? Or they be sliding little questions in?
Right.
And they found out folks who answered these questions were more likely to have
Low self-esteem traits. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, come on. Isn't that the scary part, though?
It is a scary part.
What you think about that?
When we had this article and I read it over, one of the things I thought interesting is like, how does this relate to me? And I was like, well, because
that's the cancer. He said, how does this tie to me?
How does this relate to me?
Thank you.
And I was like, well, what was the biggest sacrifice that I've ever done? In our relationship? And I was like, well, moving to from Detroit to white ass New England with you. Like when we had that conversation, you was like, Naren, we've been together for this long.
You on the train or you off?
We can either be really good friends, but if you committed, you can come with me to white ass New England. We can figure it out. But I need to know by this date what you doing, because that's gonna make me decide on what schools I'm going to.
Come on.
And I was like, oh, okay.
Where's the lie?
Well, I'm coming with you. And, and I think, going through that, and I think when we even moved here, we bumped heads a little bit, just trying to adjust. And this whole thing is like, when they're, you here now, you working, what do you want to do? And because, I don't want you to resent me for coming here and, helping me support my dreams and things of that sort. So I was like, I really didn't see it as a resentment. I personally seen it as a way to improve my lifestyle, be with the girl that of my dreams, but also experience different parts of the U.S. that I haven't able to experience.
But I think that comes from your mindset. So if you have someone with lower self-esteem, that can be a whole different ball game. And I want to be clear, low self-esteem materializes itself in very different forms. I think especially when it comes to men. I think low self-esteem in men can look very different.
Yeah.
So I think, when we traditionally think of a woman, we think of a sad, kind of moping behind the partner. But I think in some males, it can look very different. Like it's almost this facade that they'll put up.
Yeah.
Like it ain't like they got it all together. Or, I think the stereotypical benchmark for men with low self-esteem is, you ever had a conversation with somebody and every time you have a conversation, they like Teflon?
Yeah.
Just bounce off you. You be like, oh, so you doing X, Y, and Z. What do you do? Oh, it's just all in order. What does all in order mean?
Right.
Or I'm doing this. It just don't make sense. Like everything you try to bounce off them, every time you throw something at them, it just bounce off. And you be like, bro, I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to have a conversation with you. I think those are it just stands out in my head when I think of stuff like this. Or I think it goes back to, what was the episode we had Wednesday? Again, negative thoughts and toxic thoughts. I think all that ties to that, because resentment ain't gonna make it in a relationship.
It ain't.
It's not, because when your partner starts saying things like, I did this for you, I came out here for you and not us, that's a game changer. You absolutely can say, I made this sacrifice. I came, I moved, I relocated, I took a different job, I stayed at home, whatever that is. For us,
Yeah.
that's different than I did it for you.
I did it for you.
So that means they're using you as their metrics and mechanism for happiness.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people, like, even when they go through and like break up and things of that sort, like even having these conversations with friends and family, and like, I did this for this nigga, and I did that for this nigga, and blah, 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 and I ain't really want to do this shit. And it's like, well, why you do it in the first place, man?
Yeah.
And just understanding that, when it comes to a relationship, it's definitely team. It's a team process, and teamwork make the dream work. But you also got to be able to know that if it's something that you don't rock with, that you got to be okay with, letting the relationship go. And I think some people
are scared.
Yeah, and I think some people are so scared and so content that they go through the things and sacrifice or whatever for their partner, and then they end up resenting them in the long run. Like, I moved all the way out here. I can see people like, nigga, you moved 1,200 miles away from Detroit, and now y'all done broke up.
Yeah.
That's a waste of time. And it's like, no, cuz that wasn't a waste of time. Like, I got experiences that I never would have got. I got 2 master degrees, and just thinking about it that way. And I think when it comes to that, a lot of people, it's definitely a different form of thinking when it comes along with it.
You have to.
Thinking more of glass half full versus half empty type shit.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I just keep thinking, like, it's almost like this idea of contentment breeds resentment. So I think that's a huge point. I don't know if we've talked about this, how folks stay in relationship because they're content, and just because you've done it so long and there ain't nothing else. You don't know nothing else.
Yeah.
So this what I done did for all these years. They moving to the next step. I guess this is what we gonna do then, because they haven't do it. And also, on the flip side, for the person who's asking the other person to sacrifice, you gotta ask yourself: is you willing to tag that person along too?
Right.
I don't think that's talked about a lot. So, we talk about the person who made the sacrifice and their feelings and their esteem. And there's no research on this, but I wonder how the person feels who, I don't want to say that's bringing the other person along, but what do they think? Like, what does this look like? So say you moving somewhere for a career change, right? And you moving across country and your partner has to follow. How does that make you feel? I think it would be different for men and women.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking, like, as a Black woman, how would that feel? That your husband got to come and he necessarily don't have no job. You don't know what you're doing and you providing everything. Like, do the dynamics change?
And I think it does.
Yeah.
And I really think that's where, like, gender roles and, constructs, all that comes into play.
Yeah.
For some men or, some relationships, the man would be like, well, I'm not coming out there to the other side of the country until I find me a job.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the woman is like,
I need you there to support me.
I need you there to support me. Like, I make enough money to hold us down, like, period. We can live great and, like, live like kings. Right? I just need you there to support me. And the nigga be like, nah.
Yeah.
I need to find me a job, and I need to figure out what's going to validate me, and me having a job going to validate me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why I said it's deeper stuff at play here, because it sounds like, it sums up to folks feeling unappreciated and or unsupported, depending on what side of the coin that you fall on. And I think it's just a broader conversation to have. When I seen the article, it kind of was like, I wonder what that, what that means or what that feels. I try to think about the sacrifices I've made with, I don't know, have I made any huge sacrifices?
I don't know. You let me know. I thought about it.
Oh.
You made any sacrifices? I guess not.
I think you tried it. I don't know. I can't really think of any. That's just Leo in me. Because every opportunity I'm going to take to flip it. I guess the sacrifice that I'm making is especially transitioning from like my 9 to 5 to doing this more entrepreneur spirit. The sacrifice I've had was letting go of that 9 to 5 and giving you the space, because we always did things 50-50, but Naomi believed in having her own coin at any moment. But really shifting that to be like, all right, you got it? Oh, you got it? Let me see. Let me count. Did you got, so I guess that's a little bit of a sacrifice for me because, I feel like it's not taking away I know in my head, it feels like it's taking my independence away, but I know it's not taking my independence away. So I think it's more of a mental sacrifice than an actual physical sacrifice that's going on. If I can think of anything.
I would say another one, and I think this is more or less
not
a sacrifice.
Getting a dog.
That's more or less where I was going.
Oh, come on!
Like not getting a pet or not even
having
right of kids. Both of us are in our 30s, and if you follow the traditional,
I be trying to trap Nero monthly.
If you follow the traditional role of the American dream,
I should have about an 18-month-year-old.
Yeah, you go to school, you get a good job, and you have a baby. So, I think by us not having kids,
that's true.
That's late. I would consider late in the game compared to
the Midwest and others.
Yeah.
That's true. I think, if I talk to my younger self, I definitely thought I would have had 2.5 kids and 3 dogs by now. And the lifestyle that we live, that's just not, it's not conducive to kids or even a dog right now. Like even me working at a part-time bot store and doing all this, I still don't have enough time, I believe, to dedicate to a dog. Because I'm not home enough. Right. And the dog, I'm going to come home and the dog going to look at me like, you a piss poor ass for a mama. I'm sorry. They're going to call PETA on me. They'll be like, the dog going to go out once a day and eat once a day. But now that I think of it, it is a sacrifice. I think, if I was with a partner that you're very creative, you're a gamma man, and I was a different type of man, that I definitely probably would have had children. Because I want kids. I want kids and I want dogs. But I also, enjoy our life and what it looks like and the flexibility that it provides. And I think if it wasn't for being around you and, you kind of sharing with me your dreams and goals and aspirations and meshing that with mine and open my eyes to that other lifestyle. Not that I didn't always know it was there, but Naomi about milestones.
Yes, she is.
And I'm like, well, it's time for a baby. It's time for a pug. So, I guess that is a sacrifice of, not having kids or a dog at this moment. I mean, we will.
Yeah, we will.
But not now. I know folks ask that a lot of times when we're going to have kids. Yo, I got time though. I'm 30.
Yeah.
Is that old? If you ask my mom and my aunts, it is.
Yes.
That's old. Them eggs is old, honey.
Because they didn't have kids at 25 and 22.
Please, 25.
22.
I think my mom had me when she was like 22, 21.
Parents be having kids at 15 talking about 30.
Shut up.
Ooh.
There ain't no
I
kids
had you at 16.
Well, our grandparents, they started having kids young now.
Yeah, they
grandparents,
did.
But my parents, they got married in their early 20s and had me like a year or two later.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that is to say. I didn't think about that, Nero. Now I got to reflect on this.
No. Do you resent me for not having a pug yet?
Not yet.
And there's a yet.
I'm petty. I'll just go get it and bring it home. I'm like, guess what? We got a roommate.
What? We got a dog?
Yes,
okay.
His name is Wilbur.
At this point in the game, I'm like, all right, whatever.
Scoot over. What'd you say? Scoot over, Wilbur.
Yeah, I guess that's my shadow. That's the indifference in me. Okay, I guess we got a dog now.
Would you pick? Okay, we're not going to have this conversation on the podcast. Would you ignore the dog?
I wouldn't ignore the dog. But the thing is, like,
real?
Yeah. What? The thing is this: I've had so many dogs in my life.
Yeah.
That I'm not pressed to.
I haven't had one dog.
I know, and that's the thing that really that I wish your parents would have gave you a dog. When you
I didn't even have a pet. The only pet that I had was a fish that committed suicide.
So here's the thing about having a dog, and it's one of the things I'm just not pressed for. Like when you have a baby, like there's like a finite time where you got to pick up shit and like that shit.
Then they're done. Yeah.
But when it comes to dog, like you picking up shit for
20 years.
for until that dog die.
And it get worse as they get older.
Yes. So for me, you know, and I've had multiple dogs. Shout out to Tupac, RRP. Shout out to Biggie, RRP.
Oh my God.
Shotgun,
Shotgun.
RRP. Yeah.
What types of dogs were they?
Pit bulls.
Of
I had
course.
like a Rottweiler.
Hood dogs.
I had a Chow. King.
A chow.
Yeah, shout out to King.
With the little
RRP.
blue tongue?
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
So, you know, I've had so many dogs, and like the whole notion of like picking up after this damn dog, like picking up shit, you know, house training or waking up in the middle of the night to go take the dog out, or even to think of like having a life, like you go work and then you got to go to happy hour and you're like, oh shit, I got to run home so I can let the dog out.
Yeah.
Like your life now revolves around the dog. This
And then I
little
done
thing.
get distracted. I ain't going
Yeah.
back out.
Exactly. So, you know, those are the things that I'm like, well, I'm not pressed to have a dog. And you like, Nero, I ain't never had a dog in my life.
Only my fish who jumped out that fishbone was dead. That
And
next
yeah.
morning, he was stuck to the floor. I cried. And my mom was like, girl, bye. My mom was like, we get you another one for Michael's. Or what's it called? Petco. She said, we go get you another one, Petco. I said, it's only one beta. And she just rolled her eyes. She's like, well, you don't want one? And I ain't never got another one after that. I
Right.
couldn't handle it.
So, you know, that's more or less my opposition of like not having a dog is that I'm not ready to pick up shit for the next 30 years.
The dog ain't going to live
Until
30
that dog-
years.
yeah, until that dog
live
die.
10 to 15. That's still a long time.
You know, no one else. We end up going to get a rescue dog, clearance puppy.
Yes.
And it's going to be a full grown mutt. And
Gonna
that dog
live
going to
forever.
live forever. And so I'm picking up shit for the rest of my life.
Like, you silly. Yes, but I thought that was a good just thing for us to have a conversation about, the idea of resentment. And, you know, I think it ties into that idea of shadow and just fleshing that a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
The last thing I actually had for Pillow Talk, believe it or not, y'all, we actually watched the Black Love doc on
Yeah.
OWN.
Shout out to them.
Because at first I didn't think we would get a chance to watch it, but we were able to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
For y'all that didn't know, it looks like Queen Oprah is doing a docu-series.
Yeah,
I think I
docu-series.
was a little confused about that. If it was just like a movie, that was going to be a couple hours over the show. It looks like it's actually going to be a series. I don't know how many episodes it is, but it's like it's going to come on once a week for a few weeks. And they interview these Black couples that are in Hollywood or famous, and a couple that are, you know, just some everyday folks like us. And the filmmakers who are just young brown couple. Neil, can you find their name? I want to give them a shout out.
Yeah.
Maybe we
go
need to do
ahead.
their love on that one.
You know, maybe
Shout
we reach
their
out to them. Maybe
Yeah.
I don't know if we big enough to get to them, but you never know.
Look, the Leo, why not? And what it is this couple who is, you know, they both do films, and they talk about, you know, they interview the folks, ask them questions about, you know, when they met and when they knew they were in love and first dates. And, you know, I'm really just interested to see it. And about the two filmmakers, they're brown, they're young, and they move fast. So I think they known each other for like 6 months. Then they got engaged and they got married a year later. Then a year later from there, they had their first baby. So they just talked about their love and, you know, what it meant and all that good stuff. But from just looking at it, my initial gut reactions, what's your kind of gut reactions on the docuseries here before we kind of get into tidbits?
You know, I'm excited for it. I loved it. You know, I love the stories that's going on. You know, I'm all about that Black love.
Yeah.
And I think some of the stories was interesting. So, like Viola Davis' story was, you know, very intriguing. I can't remember the Tia or Tamira. I always get them
I
mixed
call
up.
them both.
Tia and Tamira, and her story with her boo thing was also amazing as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The name of the filmmakers are Cody and Tommy Oliver. So I wanted to make sure I got their names right. And I guess they're like formally trained, or this is what they do. So that was just really exciting. And also, I guess it's something that they've been doing for a while too. But the thing I would say, Niram, I know you're a creative and you're sensitive about your shit. And I'm definitely very, I understand your creative aspect of it. But my type A education person was like having anxiety during the whole thing.
Why?
Because I was like, okay, so what is the learning outcome? Not the learning outcomes, but when I watch stuff like this, like I want to almost be guided through the process. So I'm like, okay, so what is going to be the takeaway from this one? Like I almost, after every couple, I wanted somebody to come back and bring it all together. So the key points are boom, boom, boom. And this is the summaries. But, as the show goes on, they might pull that out. So maybe this episode was just to kind of introduce them to, us, each of the couples of who they are and what they look like. So that's my only, critique, where it was just like, but what was the outcome of this? Like, tell me something. Look, what are some tips and tricks that you use in your marriage? Like, I wanted like practical application. And this might not even be what that's for. And I had to put my creative hat to be like, Nyambi, you are not in a class. You are not in a human development and family studies class. This is not what this is for, sis. If you want that, create that.
Yeah.
But I had to get out that mind frame. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it definitely makes sense. And I think that's one of the things you have to realize is that your expectations and what the producers have in mind may be two different things.
Yeah.
You probably looking for, tip, like how you do it,
like the real talk. Yeah. How do you do it?
Yeah.
Like when they were having the conversation about, she ain't had no credit, but I had good credit. He was like, well, I love you. I got good credit. No. It ain't just go there that quick.
No, it didn't.
What really was the process in your head to be like, I'm going to take the chance?
Yeah, I'm going to take this woman because I love her, regardless of the bad credit. So I think that's more or less like the more you want. And hopefully throughout the process of this docuseries, we get
that
more of that
out.
type
That's
of thing.
what I'm hoping. Because I thought it was just a one and done.
Yeah.
If it was a one and done, I was going to be like, hold up, Queen Oprah.
If it was a one and done.
Hold up. Wait a damn minute.
If it was a one and done, like this one series was, I would definitely say it's lackluster.
Yes. But I realized it was a multiple part. And I was like, oh, it's like a real show. It's like a build up.
Yeah. And I think that's more or less like if I had one critique, I just wish it would have moved a little bit faster. Like it would have got me, it would have hooked me in a little bit sooner.
But maybe that's our shadow. Maybe we be on 10. Mm-hmm. We need to have an episode about boundaries. Like everyone on the show was very boundary. Like everyone was holding hands. Everyone was holding like laps. And everyone was talking in the very calm voice.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh my God, me and Neil complete opposite. We like, oh my God, do you remember? Like,
yeah.
I don't know. So the energy was just different.
It was.
That's all. The energy was just different.
And they had like, some mature individuals on there. But even for
I
like the younger,
but
that's what I was saying. Like even for the younger folks, I would have thought, there would have been just a tad bit more energy. But I think, the couple that stole the show was Viola and Julius.
Absolutely. Viola. They the ones who they can have their own show.
Yeah.
Everybody else can be still. Well, Vanessa Bell Calloway was good too.
Yeah, she was good too. But
the rest of them, they was okay.
Yeah, it was
they was okay. Like, listen, we don't got time for Queen Oprah to come after us.
Right.
Everybody was good. But if you had to pick folks that I'm like, all right, these the two I want. Even the way Viola was talking. Yeah. Because in my head, she talked like Annalise Keaton. Yeah. But I had to realize, that ain't Annalise. Like the way she was just talking, she was like, child. Like, you could just see that she was definitely being her authentic self. Mm-hmm. And as compared to some other folks, you can tell they rehearsed it.
Yeah.
Not rehearse ain't the word, but
it was a little scripted. Some of them.
They had a little Mona Scott. Love and hip hop.
Maybe
realness.
It wasn't that. Maybe they just had a couple takes where it's like I messed up. Like let me
do it again.
Figure it out.
Yeah, that's what Mona say too.
Yeah, maybe. But I definitely think
Mona's would have been more lit. Actually, Mona would be like record, go to the bathroom, go.
But
shout out to Mona. She queen though.
She is the queen.
She queen.
But I think one of the things that I got from Viola was just persistence and like how her husband, like their first date, and he met, and then like, he dropped her off, and then 20 minutes later he called her back. Like, damn, you made it home. Like, no, I just want to let you know that I had a great time. And then another 20 minutes, like I made it home. Just want to let you know I had a great time.
Come on.
Like, called another hour or so.
Better be listening.
Let you know I had a great time. And I like you and things of that sort.
Say it. Make it plain.
And I think that's one of the things that when it comes to like this day and age where everybody want to be chased.
Yes.
And sought after, that sometimes you just gotta come out and just be persistent and say, hey sis, I'm feeling you.
You beautiful.
Hey Nyambi, I'm feeling you, baby.
All right.
I love your style.
Hey. right.
I love your vibe. We have a great conversation.
You know, I like when people they like my spirit energy.
Yeah, I love your energy and aura, baby. And I just want to let you know that I like you.
This one a panty drop.
And I enjoyed my time with you, and I hope I can spend more time, Lord willing, and Grant Architect willing. I'll be able to spend more time with you, baby.
I mean, I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
Like, it's something about that that's so attractive. And I don't know if folks do that as much as they do. Like, even when I talk to my girlfriends and they'll say they enjoy it with the guy, I'm like, oh, did you tell them? And they're like, nah, I'm waiting for. I'm like,
why not?
Just say it.
And like, you know, people always like the rules to engagement. Like, do I call him back afterwards? Like, yeah, if you want to talk to that nigga, call him.
But you know, that's old school. Yeah. Like, I remember, like, not even just with romantic partners. Like, when you go out with somebody, you call them when you come home. Yeah. Do you remember that? Yeah. Well, call me when you make it in the house. And it ain't just now, it's a text with it ain't even a text, it's an emoji with a house.
Right.
Home.
Right.
But back in the day, people used to pick up the house phone and have full-fledged ass conversation.
Debrief.
How was your ride home? Was the police out? Okay, you got in good. What time you got to get up in the morning and go to work? Okay, you had fun tonight. Like, it'd be a whole debrief session. You remember that?
Yeah, I do.
Like, coming from my aunt's, my grandma's house, my mom would be like, okay, call your grandma, tell her we made it home. And it'd be a whole separate conversation.
Hey, grandma. Yeah, baby.
What you say?
Yeah. I done made it home. Okay. How was the roads out there? How was the traffic?
But like, that's old school to really do that, and I really appreciated their stories. Also, I think the name of this segment was Love Begins. So a lot of them were telling kind of how they met, how they got married, their first. When something that stood out to me is they told the story of who said I loved you first and how. I thought that was really interesting. Niram, who said I loved you first in our relationship? Was it me?
I don't know. Probably. Ooh. Yeah. You know what?
I'll let you take this story. Because I said I'm not going to recite it no more.
Oh, what?
Come on, Niram, tell the story. Who said I love you first and how?
I think you did. I think we was having a conversation. So, you know, me and Naomi, we had took it relatively slow. Very slow.
We were young, though.
Yeah.
I'm young now.
One of the things, you know, we didn't have like girlfriend or boyfriend. We had like unofficial boyfriend and girlfriend, and just moving like that type of thing. Like, we ain't got this title, but I want you to know if I had to choose a girlfriend right now, you unofficially,
absolutely.
And moving on like that. So, you know, we got in things where I just told Naomi like I like you. I'm in like with you right now.
Yeah, you used to say I'm in like with you a lot.
Yeah, like I like you, girl. And then, you know, one day Naomi slipped up and was like, I love you, Nero.
Shut up. And what Niram say?
Click.
Really, what did you do?
I really can't remember.
He was like, I like you too.
Yeah, I said,
and you know, in my head, Naomi, the clock is ticking.
Right. Oh, I didn't tell this nigga I love him, and this nigga gonna say I like you too. The fuck.
And then what was your response to this? When did you say you love? Because I ain't said no more after that. Honey.
She sure did. And I think the first time you said that was maybe about 2 or 3 weeks before like our first like vacation together.
Yeah.
Like we went on this cruise and things of that sort. And the thing y'all don't know about Nyambi is that whenever it comes to vacation time, me and Nyambi always fall out.
I'm trying not. We haven't yet.
It's coming.
We haven't.
Me and Nyambi falls out about something, about whatever. Because we have 2 ideas of what the vacation gonna be like.
Yes.
And we had 2 ideas on how we moved in preparation for the vacation. So, you know, we had this thing. We didn't fell out. I can't remember what we fell out about.
Yeah, something crazy.
It's something crazy. But we end up having like this little dinner, and she was mad at me. And then, you know, we went to like the little club and bar, and I had a little booth and, you know, just chilling, drinking, talking to her. And then, you know, I wrapped my arm around her, and I just whispered in her ear. I was like,
come on, Nero.
Nyambi.
Come on, stop with that ASMR.
I love you, baby.
Okay.
And then Nyambi gonna say, what?
What?
And I said, I love you.
I said, okay.
And then she's like, okay. And then she walked away. It's like, the fuck?
I had the Jay-Z line, but he knew it was there.
Fuck? So then she gonna walk away. And then we was beefing again for like another 2 more days.
It wasn't 2 days. It was 24 hours.
I done told her I love her. And then she just gonna walk away.
I said, okay.
And she said, okay. And the thing is, we was in the cruise ship, so, you know, you had them beds that was pushed together.
Yeah.
That night, them twin beds were separate. oh, well, I'm sleeping on my side of the twin bed.
And
then.
I took my Bonnie, my Dramamine, went straight to sleep.
Mm-hmm. And then here comes Nyamba the next night. Miriam, I love you too.
What? Don't do that to me.
That's
we had
how
a
you
conversation.
was.
We fleshed out what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
And now we worked through that.
And then she was like, I love you too. And
Yes.
it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's what I kind of got. That's what the question that stood out to me that they asked. Hopefully they have a question every episode and we
Yeah,
can kind
me
of
too.
answer those questions too from our perspective and you know what happened. But we watching. Did y'all watch it? Let
Yeah.
us know what y'all liked, what stood out to y'all. Just let us know all that. Only thing I do wish it was a little bit more, a few folks. I would like to see a little more, I hate to say the word diversity, but I would like to see a gay couple. So
Yeah.
either, you know, 2 black men, 2 black women, even if just one. I know
Yeah.
that sounds stereotypical, but just to get that voice out there, you
Yeah.
know, like I think it's important to provide that platform. And when we're talking about Black love, make sure that their voices are
Exactly.
included.
Like, yeah, like
Does that make
LGBTQ.
sense?
Yeah, like all our, all our,
to show that
Yeah.
Black love comes in all forms.
yeah, in all shapes and sizes and things.
Because
like
low
that.
key, again, this could be me being naive in my ignorance. I feel like when I see, you know, gay men or like lesbian women, it's really always like almost a intercultural relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like I see a lot more like white and black, or you know, and nothing wrong with that, of course, when it comes to LBGT love than like Black. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And I want to see more Black love.
I do.
Just
I
to
wanna
see
see.
what that, you know, is. And of course I know that folks out there, you know, and I know folks, but when I'm thinking of media and for what this documentary is supposed to be doing and highlighting, that's one of my only, I guess I got 2 critiques. So that would be my only, and maybe, you know, in the later episodes, they going to pull that out.
Yeah, but you also got to remember, like, being a creative, like, that might not be
Right. That's our thinking.
the decision they wanted to go to. So I even think about, you know, as we are in the process of making this photo book and things of that sort, and like looking at some of the questions that we initially had and trying to figure out like how do we revamp them,
Make them
just
inclusive,
to, you know, make it inclusive, but also just to see like, all right, you know, some of the questions that they're asking, we asking too, like, you know, how y'all meet and things of that sort, and just seeing how those things pan out when it comes to like an interview form and when we are, you know, putting this in the book, you know, what are some questions that we want and like what are the direction we want to go to.
Yes.
I think that's a great thing that we can use and being mindful that yes, we want, you know, gay couples, lesbian couples, trans couples, all the above in our book to make it as exclusive as possible.
And also to demonstrate what Black love is.
Yeah.
Does that make, like, you know, Black love is a very broad thing. And I think so many times we pigeonhole it into what it is.
Yeah.
And I think that's what I'm anti. Black love, as y'all hear me say, is deep, it's beautiful, it's complex, it's soul shaking, it's beautiful. And I just want to highlight all aspects of it, not just a sliver. One shady comment, you know, I'm just going to do one shady comment. Was all the couples Black?
No comment. Blackish.
Blackish.
Yeah.
Or self-identified as Black. That's my thing. That's fine if you know, mama white, daddy Black. But do you self-identify as Black? I didn't get that. I think I don't know if I wasn't paying attention. Did one of the guy with the long hair who looked like Jamal from Empire but white, is he Black?
I think he white.
How did he get on the Black Love doc?
Because it's a black woman who loved a white man, I guess. I don't know.
That's the only thing where my nigga dar went up. My nigga antlers went up. The only time where my was like, wait a minute, Queen Oprah. Wait a minute. You got me in on the idea that this was Black love. BLACK, Black. How he get in here? How did he slide through here?
I don't know.
But like I said, I could be confused. He could be a multicultural brother. I don't know. And if he is, shout out to him. You in the group. But if he ain't, wait a minute now. Did I misunderstand the definition of love of what we was doing here?
You didn't, baby.
Okay.
But I definitely think, you know.
Okay.
It
Y'all
was
correct me if I'm
interesting.
wrong.
I know he was like, is he black? I was like, I don't think so.
No, it wasn't even a look, because I know it's fair-skinned Black people, so I didn't even ask was he Black, but I think he said something.
Yeah, I
or
think
they
the woman
said
said
something
like,
like,
you know, I would never think I would
they
date
don't
somebody,
like that's
a
not
white
Black.
man or
Yeah,
something like
I
that.
said what? And you know,
yeah.
we don't got live TV, so I couldn't run it back. I said, what she say? I thought he was a brother. I thought he was just fair-skinned. I thought he had Michael Jackson disease.
Like mama.
Like Nero mama. But that's my only thing. You know, I got to keep it real with y'all. You know, I believe in Queen Oprah. I'm glad she gave us this platform and all that. But wait a minute, y'all. Don't be lying to me and tell me it's one thing, then slide me in here and get me into diversity training. I don't want to go to diversity training. I just want to see black love. I don't want diversity training.
Well, I guess I can't reach out and interview them.
What? What I say bad?
Nothing, baby. I'm fucking with you.
You thought that was inappropriate?
I'm fucking with you.
I got to keep it real with my community.
Hey.
It's a good thing. I told y'all to go watch it.
Tell your truth.
We already told y'all if it was trash, we weren't gonna talk about it.
Well, so you know we are. So you already know how it is since we're talking about
Come
it.
on. If it was trash, I would just ease
on.
right on by.
Yeah.
And talked about Fits My Life.
When that's coming back?
Soon, the end of the month. Fits My Life is coming back in September, and American Horror Story starts next week. Come
God
on,
damn
we
it.
doing reviews on
I
American Horror Story. I am lit.
I am excited. I'm lit. I can't wait for this to happen.
Yes.
But last things, go check out the Black Love doc.
Yes,
Let us know
I'm
what
18
y'all
on
think.
home. Yeah, let us know what y'all think. Book club,
Oh shit.
Niram, you done?
Nope. I'm not done.
It's not this book, y'all. Niram is reading Kendrick. Kendrick can't be more than 200 something.
Look here. First of all, I read slow. You know, I done started up classes, so I'm trying to figure out how to work through that. But I ain't got a couple, quite a bit out done.
Okay.
So where we left off 2 weeks ago, Dana then was getting whipped by Rufus' daddy,
Yeah.
and then her ass and transported back home. So you know she didn't got back home. She didn't took a shower. She didn't put a little sass on her back.
Sass.
Sass.
Whatever. Sloth.
You know what I'm saying.
Neosporin.
She didn't put Neosporin on her back and shit. Took showers and shit.
Yeah. Ooh, it sting.
Yeah, it was stinging. And you know she didn't got back prepared.
Yeah.
She didn't had another to go bag, and then as soon as she got that to go bag,
Time to go.
her ass left. I think what was funny is that, you know, she called her sister. It's like, can you go get me some food? Because I don't want to leave the house. She's like, I don't want to drive. I don't want to walk nowhere. I don't want to sit in this bed because I get dizzy and I fall on my head and I'm going to die.
Oh, my Lord.
So, you know, she going back and forth and blah, blah, blah. Then her ass transport back.
Yeah.
And Rufus getting his ass whooped.
Rufus stay in
Getting his ass whooped.
Rufus stay in shit.
So Rufus then raped her ancestor, and then her husband whipped on Rufus' ass, about to beat the fuck out. He was beating the brakes off his ass, and then they ran away. Dana then taught Rufus to talk about it was a white man, and then later down the line, that they get that black woman that Rufus raped. She done came back and then sold the black man off. So the interesting thing also is that, you know, Dana, who's the person, the antagonist or the person who's like narrating this, is that she's on the plantation, but she can do whatever she wants to. Like her ass is walking around and she feel like I'm a sweep. If I'm a mop. Yeah. If I wash the little clothes, I want to wash the little clothes. So she asked Rufus. So one thing I should also mention is that between the time of them, like her transporting back to present time and transporting back, like 5 years then went by. So her husband then left. His ass then went on somewhere, up north somewhere. So she asking Rufus to like mail this letter off because, you know, black people can't send no mail. And then they come to find out that Rufus' ass ain't sending these letters off.
Because Rufus, okay, yeah.
This nigga ain't sending those letters off.
Rufus is crazy.
And then I think what else happened? The last thing I remember is that she was in some type of trouble. She had ran away, and then her Rufus' daddy kicked her in the face. Oh my God! And I was like, damn, I think she about to transport again, because you know whenever she like afraid or in danger, that her ass transport
she go back.
So I haven't got to the part of, you know, if she transported back or whatnot, but. That's what happened in the chapters that I read.
How are you feeling about Kendrick, though? Do you see why now it is integral reading for the black culture?
Yeah, it's interesting as hell. You know, even like the whole concept of like her talking to her ancestor and like, you know, don't call us niggas. I'm a black woman, Rufus. And Rufus was like, well, you got to call me master or mister. Come on. You know, and that type of shit. Like even the conversations like she having behind like Rufus' daddy back, and Rufus like, you know, we got to be on low key because, you know, our daddy, my daddy will sneak up on you.
Yeah.
And his ass snuck up on her ass like, What you say?
doing? Come on.
So
Nothing changed, honey.
yeah,
What
but
you say? Different people, same.
yeah, people don't. People change, characters don't,
Come
or
on.
personalities don't.
Come on.
So like going through that, and like she's like, I wonder if I can like have this effect on Rufus. I think the other thing is like Rufus like I'm gonna rape this girl. So she can either give it to me willingly or unwillingly. Like Dana, go talk to her and let her know that I love her.
Oh Lord.
But I'm gonna get that pussy.
Jesus.
And I'm like, damn, Rufus.
Crafty.
So just thinking like,
And
you know,
how that plays out
Yeah.
to, metaphorically what's going on and how black women now feel in the world. Come on.
because Rufus is like, I'm gonna rape her. Like I'm getting that.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
getting
getting
what I
that
want.
box.
By any means.
Like so you can either talk to her and get her to like it or
No.
whatever.
Cha.
So I thought that was like very interesting. I was like, oh, this is Rufus' ass is problematic.
I mean, but even if you think about that in everyday life, as black people and your parents training you, now this gonna happen to you, so you might as well just take it.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Not in the area of being raped or anything, but just navigating everyday life. I mean, navigating every day in a very white society.
Yeah. So I know that the woman Rufus is about to rape is like Dana's like
Grandmother or something.
grandmother or something like that.
Yeah.
So that's thinking like,
and this needs to happen because if it doesn't happen, then Dana's not born.
yeah, Dana's not born. So that's figuring out like, is her grandmother gonna end up like being in like a full blown relationship with Rufus or trying to figure out like how she moves with that? Because Rufus like, I'm getting that box.
Yeah.
And he's like adamant, like I'm gonna get it.
Yeah.
So she can either be down or she cannot be down. So just trying to figure like, well, how does she move through that situation? Because we know it's gonna happen.
Yeah. But the thing is, Dana has to support it and happen because if she doesn't, she doesn't. That's what I keep going back to. So it's like, again, it's almost you damned if you do, you damned if you don't.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, all right. One more week. Wrap it up, Nero.
I'm a
You gonna read it while we going flying?
Yeah, I'm gonna read some while we in DC.
Yeah. Good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's Shout Out Friday.
It is Shout Out Friday, y'all.
Do we got some good ones?
Yeah, we got a couple.
Okay. You want to start?
Yeah. So, to get shout out, you can either shoot us an email at blacklovematters@gmail.com. You can leave something on the blog, or you can leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or Stitcher. So we got one 5-star review, and it's titled "Well Worth Binging" from Miss Chris 23X.
Yes.
And it says, I started listening about 2 weeks ago, been binging on every episode from the beginning.
Oh, wow.
I love Nyambi's country twang
Yes.
and Neon Chill's vibe.
Neon stay chill. Unbothered.
Hey,
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. They seem to be a great balance to each other and a great example for a single woman in her 30s that still believe in true love and partnership. Keep it up because black love does matter.
Come on. Ain't never too late. I'd be telling folks, there's somebody out there for everybody. I guarantee.
Never too late. Never
ain't
too
never
much.
too
Yeah.
late. Now you might got to go through a lot of frogs to get to the prince, but keep moving.
You got to
through it.
kiss those frogs, though.
Come on, ain't nothing wrong with that. Perfect. And then our next one, we actually got an email from. I'm reading this one there.
Yeah, go ahead.
It says, "Hi, Niram and Nyambi. This is from the folks that we shared the Black Love Story.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing Lil and I Black Love Story. Until today, yesterday, Lil didn't know I wrote y'all. Oh, y'all ain't. Imagine if he was listening. And he was like, wait a minute. He was pleasantly surprised. Good. Also, you shouted me out with my comment. Oh, that you left on iTunes.
Yeah, thanks a lot, sis.
Yeah, so her 5-star. She's 2 Chainz voice. Oh, okay, I love it. And Nyambi, you're my Leo sister. Yes, she a Leo too. All Leos, we tend to get together. We like each other. I've never met a Leo I don't like. It's like we run together in like the Pride and the Pats. What they said on Game of Thrones. They run together in Pats. But that's a wolf. Same thing.
Okay.
And she goes on to say, just wanted to let y'all know that I connected with y'all from the beginning. I told Lil how I love you guys. Your guys' banter. Y'all show has structure, but it isn't scripted, and I love that. You keep your cohort intrigued in its everyday life. I can definitely relate, especially your work stories, Nyambi. Aside from my full-time job, I do work part-time at the clothing store, and sometimes I have to ask Jesus to move to the side so I can handle the situation myself. I know he's an on-time God, but these hands are quicker. Come on. You can't make, I don't know why it has not been a reality show about these bot stores yet.
It is. And he's one on
No, I seen that
Hulu?
one. They ain't doing it justice. I need to be the writer, producer, director, and editor because the stories I got.
Uh-huh.
You see, I just told you somebody just said they ain't coming back. I said, why you come in today? Anywho, thanks for the shout out. Definitely looking forward to the future episodes. Nadia, thank you so much, Nadia. We appreciate it. We appreciate it.
We appreciate it, and I'm glad Laura was
Yeah,
surprised.
he went mad. He probably like, wait a minute.
Right. Hold up, girl.
Shout out to y'all,
Yeah,
though. And
shout
again,
out
I
to
love
y'all.
their names. That name is a brand.
It is.
I like
it's
it together.
Some dope shit, yeah.
Yeah.
We got a comment on the blog. We got some on the website from AK Bell, and this is in reference to episode 37 when we talked about mock slave auctions, ASMR, and religion as a control mechanism.
Oh, our titles be
Yeah,
maybe we need to be a little lighter with them titles.
And it says, I'm here for this ASMR MR stuff because I don't know about what you said. Because I don't know about y'all, but that lady had me wanting a pickle so bad.
It brings water to your mouth, don't it? It brings water. It brought water to my mouth when she was crackling
was
and popping
tearing
on
that
the
pickle
pickle.
up.
On that pickle. I told you said to chill down my back.
She says, I also sleep so much better with the fan on. With the fan on, literally cannot sleep without
That's
the
how
fan
you are,
in the
Nero.
background. Yes,
You are like that, Niram.
I can
Niram's
have
like
the
that.
fan on year round.
Year round. And I can't have it.
It gets on Naomi's nerves
We're going to have to get a noise machine.
to the point where sometimes I got the fan on and I just have it like pointing to the ceiling or pointing the other way because I just like the noise.
The noise of it. Mm-hmm.
And lately, it's been cold. It's been getting a little cool out here
Yeah.
in white ass New England. So
At night, yeah.
Naomi like, Nero, can we not have the fan on?
I'm not trying to catch no pneumonia.
Mm-hmm.
What else? We in their comments still.
Yeah, I know, right? So she said, I cannot sleep without a fan on in the background. I know a lot of people say that, but I live in Alaska. Oh shit, she live in Alaska. We got listeners in Alaska, y'all.
I want to go to Alaska.
Nigga, we making it.
Yes, that's the United States.
Yeah, but still, Alaska far as hell from white ass New England.
Oh, I didn't even think about location wise. You silly. What's the internet? Black people live, or brown
Right.
people, or folks who live in this podcast
said-
live in Alaska. I want to visit Alaska. I want to do an
too.
Alaskan cruise.
I live in Alaska, and I really, I really never had a need for a fan. Also, side note, I found this podcast through a male friend.
Damn.
Updates to come.
Oh, what she knew I was jumping on it.
Updates to come.
Come on, Alaska.
Hey. I say male friend because he lives in New York and I live in Alaska.
Yeah.
Oh, his ass live far as hell too.
Yeah, he down the street though.
Yeah. But she says, he or she says, we are working on getting to know each other through any means, and we talk daily and are in constant contact.
Nice, yes.
And I was wondering if you can ask your viewers how they feel about long distance relationships, pros, cons. Thank you, and I love the podcast so far.
Oh yeah, so y'all heard a few. So
Yeah.
what does y'all think about long distance relationship? What's some tips and tricks that you can give? What's the person's name? I want to make sure I say it.
AK Bell.
AKA Bell.
Let's
yeah.
just call it Sis Burkus.
Sis Burkus.
Yeah.
That you can, give to just, help out as they navigate through it. Maybe we need to do an episode where we really dive into it. I know we did long distance, not too long, but just to say what that is. Who was that we interviewed that said they used to do? Was that Loyal and Nadia who do the dates with FaceTime?
Yeah.
I
That
like
is
that. I think
loyal.
that's a cute idea
Yeah.
too. But yeah. Let's come on, listeners. What y'all thinking?
Yeah, what y'all think? And
We'll
all the
pull
other
some of our
people
stuff
who
together.
are
Yeah.
and all the people who are in long distance relationships, go ahead and submit y'all black love
Yes.
and tell us what make y'all go so good and how y'all do it.
Absolutely.
We also interviewing somebody soon too,
Yes.
who are they're in a long distance relationship too.
Nice.
So
Can't wait.
y'all stay tuned to that.
Stay tuned.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So as always, to submit your Black Love stories, go to blacklovematters.com. To submit questions for Kitchen Table Talk, shoot us an email at blacklovematters@gmail.com. And remember, you can leave us a comment anywhere you like. So that can be on our website, SoundCloud, iTunes, any form of social media. You can find us at Black Love Matters. And don't forget that voicemail at 508-784-1111. Again, that's 508-784-1111. Talk to y'all later. And remember, love is ever evolving. Peace.
Peace.